Hey everyone, I wanted to share something with you that I ran across that I found completely awesome, and that is this guy right here, the Diatone SP2 video transmitter. Now, it is a little bit bigger and weighs a little bit more than your normal ESC, your video transmitter, but the convenience of this thing is just incredible and pretty much solves all the problems I ran into building this Armadillo here. And a couple of things that I really like about this video transmitter is when I put it on here, this side is going to poke out to where you always have access to change it. This button right here. Now, another thing it has that I find really nice is when you hold down this button for 10 seconds, you can switch from 200 milliwatt, 25 milliwatt from these two little lights here, and when the light's off, it is, I believe, 0.02 or some really low number of power to where they call it pit mode, and you can turn it on and not bother other people flying. So if you're a racer and you need to change bands a lot, this thing is absolutely amazing. Now, it does not come with the antenna facing this way. It was facing this way, and I desoldered it to make it poke in this way. As you can see, it's not the easiest thing to solder here. Not pretty, but I've tested it. It actually works pretty good. And the wires that came with this is the box here that it came in. All the wires are silicone, which is completely awesome. These are just the ends that I already clipped off here. Yep, but anyway, silicone wires. Everyone needs to use silicone wires. It makes everything so much easier. I've already gone ahead here and soldered up to my Armadillo here, and this guy will sit just like this. I've set him out on top of my Seriously Dodo board here. And when I put the side frames on, this part right here is just going to stick out a little bit from the frame to where I can easily change the channels. Now you have to get a little creative with your standoffs depending on your build, but to me, the extra size of this board and the few grams of weight is completely worth the convenience. And it does come with the SMA connector, which I believe is a Fat Shark thing. All of your eSheen products use the RPSMA. That's kind of a bummer. I thought about changing it, but I have some SMA antennas in order. But let me get it together, and I'll show you guys how this looks. I just wanted to take a second to show you guys these little buzzers that you can surface mount. They are just the most convenient things ever. You can solidly mount it right on any little spot you got that'll fit that buzzer. Wire up to your board, don't have to worry about it shaking loose, get out of the way, doesn't have to be on top of the board. Love it. Wanted to give you guys a look on how this video transmitter looks like when it's all mounted up in here. This is for the guys who don't run this plate on top that I designed. As you can see, there's a decent amount of room with that top plate on there. So it got some nice airflow to keep this thing cool. And yeah, this is what it looks like. Alright, here it is all put together. Got my battery plugged in here so you guys can see how this video transmitter works. Right now, it's hard to see, but come on now. There we go. The light for the 200 milliwatt setting is on. And you just hold down this button here for 10 seconds. And it should switch here to their light blue. There we go. There's 25 milliwatt. And to go to pit mode, we're going to hold it down for another 10 seconds here until that light turns off. And there we go. Now we're in point to whatever is pit mode. And switch to channels, you hold it down for 2 seconds. 1, 2. Now we're a different band. 1, 2 again. Now we're in B. And of course you just cycle through the channels. I mean, how awesome is that? So easy to switch your channels. No more digging into your frame, trying to peek in between stuff. That's excellent. Now, if you do decide to run this on your Armadillo, there is a few little modifications I did have to make to the frame. On this side, there was a bar that came down in the middle here, and I had to cut that out and make a little bit more clearance just to make sure this button didn't hit here. And there we go. And on this side, in order to get access to the USB port, there is a bar that comes across on the bottom down here. I just cut that out, and I still got all these tabs here, so it should do very little to weaken the frame. And this is the bar on the other side I was talking about. I had to cut it off in the middle. But there it is. Fits fantastic. Super happy with it. This is by far the best way to get a video transmitter on this quad. Because if you did it the other way and put it inside, you'd never be able to switch your channels. And, oh, another little thing I wanted to show is, if you don't need to run the regulators on here, you can put a little jumper wire in between the two outside solder points right there. And I did it to both sides. That way I could use the solder pads on here to, you know, power my board and your camera or whatever. So, yeah, there it is. Alright guys, thanks for watching.